Alright, my name's Anthony. Me and my team, Luay Z and Chris Gilbert, have made a project and presentation on Chernobyl. As you can see in this picture, this is before the disaster. It's very lively. There are people walking around, there are buildings, and there's plant life all around. As you can see before, they were planning on building an amusement park called the Pripyat Amusement Park. There were 115,000 to 135,000 people living within this nice and very well-populated town in Ukraine. During the incident, as you can see, the power plant blew up the fourth reactor, which caused a big explosion and fire that destroyed the whole building, or the whole section. A large amount of radiation was coming out of the reactor and killed 30 people on the spot. Most people within a 30-kilometer radius got acute radiation system and died in the next few months or years of their life. What happened to the animals left behind in Chernobyl? Many animals were left behind after the Chernobyl explosion. Some of them were killed due to the radiation, some from Soviet soldiers who thought they were contaminated, and some survived and adapted to the radiation and have descendants who live there now. This quote from University of Cambridge explains it. Many of the domestic animals that were left behind were killed by the Soviet soldiers, assuming they were contaminated. But some hidden survived in the wild, and the descendants now roam in the zone over 3 decades later. Today, there are over 500 dogs living at different locations around the zone. As you can see, this deer has been affected by the radiation and has an extra 2 legs in the back. The effect on the ecosystem. This quote from the ScienceDirect.com explains it. In the initial aftermath of the 1986 Chernobyl accident, there were detrimental effects recorded on wildlife, including mass mortality of pine trees close to the reactor, reduced pine seed production, reductions in soil and vertebrate abundance, and diversity, and likely death of small mammals. The incident. As you can see in this photo, this is the power plant after the incident. This is where the reactor 4 is and where it exploded and where the fire was. This quote from Botanica.com explains it in depth. Following the disaster, the Soviet Union created a circle-shaped exclusion zone with a radius of about 18.6 miles, or 30 kilometers, centered on the nuclear power plant. The exclusion zone covered an area of about 1,017 square miles, or 2,634 square kilometers, around the plant. This is Chernobyl now today. In this photo, you can see where they tried covering it. There are now many holes in this dome that were created by Russian drones that were flown into it. To this day, there's still radiation. Chernobyl now today, as you can see in this photo, this is where they tried covering it with a dome. There are multiple holes in this made by Russian drones flying into it. Mostly every worker who worked on it, which took around 20 years to build, is now dead from acute radiation syndrome. There's still radiation in Chernobyl, therefore it's still uninhabitable to humans, but animals and plant life is starting to grow back there and have adapted to the radiation in Chernobyl. They cannot live there now without having to worry about radiation, although for humans, scientists estimate that Chernobyl will be habitable for humans again in 20,000 years. As you can see down here, this is our 3D model we made on Chernobyl. It shows the main power plant for reactor 4, which blew up right here, and it's demonstrating the destruction it caused. That's it.